Yeah, they did play against me, and yeah, of course. I can tell you that.
Did you ruin it for everyone else? Is that what you're saying, Bly?
Yeah.
That's what I heard anyway.
What I did not like for stats, he cancelled pylon on Reynor's natural, and it's very important. Like, you have to leave the pylon in here if Zerg doesn't make hatchery in your natural. I mean, Zerg can, but Reynor did not, and he had to leave the pylon here, and if he would do so, Lynx have to stay on natural and kill this pylon. If they don't, and you make hatchery on the third base and stuff, two adepts gonna be such a pain in your butt, and you won't have a chance in the mid game after, because you're gonna be very behind.
Reynor made 12 Zerglings and he's actually going to take the fight. Let's see how many Zerglings survive by the time both Zealots fall. He lost 8 Lings for 2 Zealots. How do you feel about that, Bly?
It does not worth it. Reynor is behind, and I am telling you this. I'm really good at it, and Reynor is very behind. Even there was no pylon. I know I'm whining about it, but if you playing against Zerg who's playing 12 pool, you have to do it. You have to.
So it's going to be 3 Adepts right now as a follow-up. Link speed obviously is nowhere to be seen, so this is going to be very tricky for Reynor to clean up. Now, he does have a couple Queens.
Yeah.
That's going to help out. But
I mean, the main reason why the 12 pool had such a resurgence is that all of a sudden Zerg players realize that they don't need to lose their Zerglings on the other side of the map.
yeah,
Then,
exactly.
yeah, they can just drone for a long time, for 2-3 minutes straight, because the initial links that they produce, they will be enough to deal with the Adepts that Protoss players like to send to the other side of the map. But if we start losing the links, then we have to rebuild the links, and like you said, Loco, we won't have Zergling speed, well, for basically another 2-3 minutes in this game.
Yeah.
So this is indeed Bly. I think you're spot on, mate. This is looking really bad for Reynor.
Really bad. So much mining time, drones, links, and he can stay here for like 30 seconds more. And Reynor doesn't have any links. I mean, not enough.
He's already...
every second.
Ooh, I'm almost sad that Stats is shading in the middle of the mineral line, even though he grabs a few more drones. But since Reynor didn't even start Zergling speed yet, and somehow seemed convinced that he was just going to kill the Adepts in the near future, he went back to droning already while that was going on. All that he had left were 6 Zerglings without speed. If those Adepts don't get surrounded there, I think they have even more potential.
Is that just a 4-gate? Like, I'm just looking at the... There's no production... Or there's no production... Yeah, okay. It's just 4 gates. Okay. 4 gates and a 3rd Nexus. Interesting. Could he be... Could he be expecting mutas again? Or do you think this is actually a push?
No, you can absolutely push with Sentinel.
It's actually a push.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. I mean, there were even some 2-base all-ins for a while that were somewhat popular of really crappy economies with Blink. But I think this is a relatively decent one because he's got a lot of gateways finishing up. It's going to be... should be 8, I feel. And apparently
he's got like 9, I think. He had 5 more coming up.
Yes. Okay, so we're going all the way up to 9 gateways, so he's going to be able to get a ridiculous amount of Stalkers out. And yeah, Reynor does have 74 drones. Reynor is producing his first roaches. And we do know that Reynor is capable of creating some real magic with just Ravages for a very, very long time. The man, all that he often needs is a crap ton of Ravages, and he can drag a game out forever. But he's going to need those Ravages right about now, because Stats is ready to attack.
Yeah, I do want to compliment Reynor here, though. For some reason, he once again has like 70+ workers. I feel like he was very far behind in the eco. And obviously, since there was no Stargate follow-up or anything along those lines, right? Like he wasn't really bothered there for a while, so he could heavily drone up there. But this is still a lot of Zerg economy. That said, though, I wonder if Stats just has too much when they first clash.
It comes down to the Ravages, I think. We need to make sure that we don't lose the Ravages immediately as a couple of force fields go down. This wasn't that bad for Reynor, as he does keep all of them alive, but he just needs more. Like, Reynor needs time, and I don't think Stats really wants to give him a lot of time. Reynor is making 6 drones during all of this. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, yeah. Like, I just don't understand, but maybe he feels like 3 spines is enough. And since he has biles, he's so sure that he's gonna defend.
Maybe he assumes that this fight is gonna go on for like 5 minutes, so he's like, okay, I better get my drones in right now.
It was actually the correct call, guys, because it seems like Stats is like, few too many units to break him. That is insane. What a call by Reynor, man. Like, I feel almost everyone would be worried about an army with a prism knocking on his front door. He's like, no, I've got a couple of Ravages. I'll keep him at bay, and I think I can go back into droning because I was forced to make a couple spines, so I lost a bit of my great economy. That's amazing. I cannot believe that call by Reynor, but yeah, he was right.
At least. Vipers on the way, burrow speed upgrade for lurkers and stuff, and I feel like Reynor, at this point of the game, Reynor can start to try to kill future 5th base of stats. Because stats didn't let Reynor to take his 5th base, and now Reynor have to give it back, I would say. Oh, even second time cancel. That's actually huge for Zerg, because as Zerg you need a bit more economy than Protoss, otherwise you might lose to carriers later. I know, I'm whiny again, blah blah blah.
No, it's fine, man. You can share your feelings. That's 100% okay.
You're doing analysis. This is totally fine. You're a pro gamer. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so 4 carriers on the way. I don't see carrier attack yet, but okay, nice.
+2 already, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah.
My man.
It's good.
Okay, so the mothership is going to be coming up as well. Yeah, this is Stats just happily macroing up. I mean, he still has those Stalkers, but he slowly wants to start replacing those with other units anyway, right? So you can get a little bit adventurous with them, although you probably don't want to give them away walking up a ramp. Okay.
Like, if Stats just attacks right now, how the hell is he ever going to lose this game? Against 19 Hydras, he's got 8 carriers, he's got Disruptors, he's got Storm. Yeah. Like, Stats should absolutely attack at this point. Don't you agree with me, Bly?
Like, yeah, it's 100%. When you have +2,
yeah,
2-1 air even.
How many high tempo does he have? Did I just see only 2?
Yeah, 2.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's got 8 carriers with +2 against Corruptors without any armor. Like, these Corruptors are gonna melt.
Melt, for sure. Like, maybe he's waiting for Mothership, but I would say that it's better to leave Mothership to a recall. Or maybe fly to the main base of Zerg while you're trying to attack in 5th base, and it's good again.
Like, we don't even have like a million Spore Crawlers or Spellcasters to worry about. Like, I mean, Stats is doing everything fine in this game. He has played a beautiful game at this point, but I really feel if you can just straight up win the game, why wouldn't you just win the game? It's
dangerous against especially someone like Reynor, right? Yep. Like, you know Reynor can definitely win in the late game, so this feels like a bit of a gamble. That being said, I mean, this is not necessarily like a bad move either. He's ahead economically, but I know where you're coming from, right? Like, if you give Reynor like a finger, he's gonna grab your hand, right? Like, it's very tricky.
I mean, like, now all of a sudden you're gonna have to deal with this nonsense when you're just sitting back. Well, if you would have already been fighting, like the Vipers had no energy before, there were no Corruptors when he could have attacked. Now you've got 20 Corruptors out. Corruptors are about to have 1-1 upgrades. Okay, the mothership is here. We might eventually try to abduct it, but now it's a completely different game already. There was a window, and it wasn't like a tiny window, you know? It wasn't one of these windows on the top floors of your house. Like, no, the front door was open, but we didn't walk through it.
All right, so Reynor has been in his face quite a bit, despite the army being not necessarily the strongest. Now, this is the moment, though, where Stats apparently decides to move out. Now these abductions are so powerful, right? We've already seen now 3 carriers going down. Prism! Ooh, okay, well, there it goes.
Trying to land some feedbacks. It's going to be Storms instead. We have a few more Spore Crawlers. We have 24 Spore Crawlers now. Before this, we had 5 Spore Crawlers. But this is still a Protoss army that you have to respect. The mothership is going to get abducted. Lands a
how much
time
does
warp.
the thing cost again, Twitch chat?
400.
Wow!
I hate that thing so much.
Oh, that's a good storm, though. And the second storm is actually good, too. So a lot of these Corruptors do take a beating. But now Reynor's like, you know what? I feel like you don't have that much splash anymore. What if I just make 17 Hydras? There's a couple of carriers do get abducted. Reynor's doing a really good job in controlling this Zerg army. But he needs to wait for these extra units to pop. And during all of this, he did take out this base at the bottom.
All right, so Stats probably going to try and clear out the base in the top left next. There's a couple Hydras running for their lives, a couple of Spine Crawlers as well that won't really be able to achieve too much.
Okay, the 2 Disruptors make things a bit more complicated for Reynor because he just went up to 25 Hydras, and I think he was hoping that he could take a fight without those Disruptors being there. This game is sick, guys. Like, this is, I mean, obviously Reynor is maxed out, but he has way less workers left. Stats is going to recall after taking out a couple of bases and will be able to save a couple of his carriers. I mean, if Stats is able to spend his money, he should still be fine. Well, whoa.
Okay. Couple free interceptors is always nice, I guess.
Nothing is for free in life against Protoss. There's a couple of Novas go forward. Connects with the Hydras. I don't think Reynor can take a fight in the range of this many cannons. Even though he did do a good job in reducing the interceptor count there, it does feel that Reynor is just a bit too broke to play a game like this at this point, right?
Yeah, 40 workers?
Not enough workers.
Yeah.
That's the main point in here. 40 is not enough to play a game after this. He have to make like 25 more at least to be able to reproduce anything, because he's not even 200 supply, while Stats will retake his third base. His fifth base is already with cannons and shield batteries and stuff. So all he needs to do is make Nexus, batteries, cannons, sit, 200 supply, again go.
Yeah, Reynor's trying to make a couple drones here and there right now, but that's, you know, a couple drones here aren't going to cut it. But I guess it's difficult to decide at this point, right? Like, how do you want to do? I guess he's trying to make like one really strong army and then give it one more shot. And I think what you're saying exactly is true, Bly. Like, all Stats needs to do is just defend that inevitable push. I mean, I guess he could move out himself as well, Stats that is, but it feels like a bit of a risk.
That's a good catch too. Ah, okay, he didn't decide to go in. He didn't knew where Vipers and Corruptors was, so he was a bit afraid. I understand the decision. Now he's attacking, and it's all about the storms now.
Oh, well, the first one is good. The second one is quite alright too. Look at the HP on these Corruptors, guys. They've already lost so much of it. But Reynor's micro with it is good. He's staying out of range. Whoa, we bring the Void Race with Parasitic Bomb. Kind of back to the rest of the armor. Reynor is doing whatever he can with his Corruptors. Can he keep them alive long enough? That's another 6 storm of that High Templar that came out of the prism.
Yeah, but now it's the last mining base as well, right? That just got sniped. So even though this fight is indeed pretty good for Reynor, all things considered, he now is basically broke. Like, he's got absolutely nothing income.
Micro was really good on the Corruptors. It's not going to be enough, I'm with you, but I do feel Reynor made the best of just a very, very dire situation there.
And I feel like there was a way for Reynor to win this fight when Parasitic Bombs was in Carriers and Voids. He had to go in after the first storms. If he would get in and all interceptors died, I feel like he might have won this fight. And after this, he still have few lurkers left, so he could mine from this base and kill the bottom base of Stats, and maybe then game would be even.
I mean, that's some beautiful fairy tale Zerg story if I've ever heard one.
I loved it, man.
Yeah.
I wanna read these kind of stories before going.
Yeah, he's like, maybe if you do this and then all the interceptors die at once and we kill you. It was either a GG or it was.